What if I told you that you shouldn't be surprised if the Royal Rumble this weekend actually cooks? And I'm not talking about the wrestlers cooking in the Saudi Arabia heat. They're going to be cooking too. But the PLE itself, I think there's a lot of reasons to believe that this is going to be pretty good. So before we get into all the positivity that everybody hates, let's just talk about the build up for this event and let's be honest about it, okay? It has not been great. It's been kind of ZzzQuil. It's been kind of Tylenol. There hasn't been this big moment like a Cody Rhodes needing to win the Royal Rumble to go to WrestleMania and finally finish the story that he didn't before. We don't have a bigger moment than John Cena's final Royal Rumble, and the last time we'll probably see him in the ring with the Roman Reigns, with the Seth Rollins, and the CM Punk at the exact same time. And they spoiled the fact that Obafemi is going to be in the Rumble, and thinking about people who are going to be in the Rumble, the announcement of the entrance have been kind of lackadaisical. It's like they've been rushed at the last minute, and it kind of feels like that WWE isn't quite sure who's going to be in a Rumble, and they're just throwing names out there to buy time. It does feel like that. We could be honest about that. But if we put that to the side, I really believe that even though the excitement isn't that high, there is some elements here to make a great Royal Rumble. And I want to run through that real quick. So before we get started, my name is Here These Thoughts. If you like shorter videos to get straight to the point, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know how you feel in the comment section, and let's get into this. So the first thing I want to bring up is the Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre match. Now, I think we all can agree that this match is pretty predictable. I think everybody agrees that Drew McIntyre is going to win this match. And the thing is, the word predictable is not a bad word. 90% of professional wrestling is going to be predictable. And predictable is great if it makes sense. Unpredictable is terrible if you use it at the wrong time. And the unpredictable thing to do here is to have Sami Zayn beat Drew McIntyre, which wouldn't benefit anybody. It'll hurt Drew McIntyre and ultimately kill the whole underdog babyface thing that you're trying to do with Sami Zayn. And it's kind of been tarnished already, but this right here will solidify it. So this will be a bad idea. But even though this match is predictable, I think this match is going to be a really, really good match, because despite how we feel about Sami Zayn, about the underdog story or whatever, this guy doesn't put on bad matches. You look at his match against Ilya Dragunov. You look at the match between him and John Cena as one of John Cena's better matches in his retirement tour. You can even go back and talk about Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. And it's so crazy that that match doesn't really get mentioned as one of the better matches, top 5 in WWE of last year. Sami doesn't put on bad matches. And the storyline of knowing that Sami has been desperate for this title ever since he lost the Bloodline. We know that Sami's going to put his all in this match to make it look like he's going to win, to ultimately fail to Drew McIntyre. And maybe that'll be more material for Trick Williams when they cross paths again. We don't know. But at the end of the day, this match is going to be really good, despite of it being predictable. And maybe Sami Zayn will lose this match and then enter into the Royal Rumble, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens. But I'm excited about this match regardless, and to give Drew a great match on his title run, we absolutely need that. I think that's great for him. But let's move on to the next match. We got AJ Styles wrestling Gunther. And if AJ Styles loses, he will have to retire, and Gunther will then collect another wrestler's retirement Infinity Stone to add to his gauntlet, which is a pretty sad moment. But this moment is also poetic because it's been a decade since AJ Styles debuted at the Royal Rumble in WWE. Now, here's the thing. First and foremost, this has got to be one of the biggest matches as far as singles competitors in Royal Rumble history, just based off of the stakes alone. But I also think that this match is going to be fantastic. I think this match is going to be way better than the prior match for a couple of reasons, right? AJ Styles in his matches lately, he has been firing on all cylinders, which isn't really surprising for him. But if you look at his resume as of lately, they have been great. Him versus Shinsuke at the Saturday Night's Main Event is arguably the best match in this iteration of Saturday Night's Main Event. Him versus John Cena could arguably be the best match that happened last year in WWE. And knowing that AJ Styles, whether he actually retires or not, we know that he's going to put his all in this match as if he's going to retire. And with that being said, that guarantees that this match is going to be amazing. Now, we don't know if he actually is going to retire. It looked like he is, because he just trademarked the Phenomenal One. And it looks like they said the contract is going to be over. But for all we know, AJ Styles could possibly have extended the contract secretly without letting the fans know, and probably in some way, form, or nature will win in a shenanigan way. I don't think he'll ever pin Gunther clean, because right now the run that Gunther is on, that would just kill pretty much any momentum that Gunther has right now. But if he wins with some type of shenanigan or some type of DQ or something like that, then okay. But I think he's probably going to retire, and that's going to be sad at the end of the day. But that being said, this match has all the emotions that we need, and I think it has two wrestlers that will absolutely put on a really, really good match. So when we talk about the Royal Rumbles themselves, I'm going to combine the men and the women because I don't want to make this video that much longer. But we think about the surprises that can happen here and the storylines that are being weaved through here. If Seth Rollins returns, knowing the entire vision is in this Royal Rumble, how is that going to play out if they meet each other inside the ring? Will Seth Rollins have to fight off all four of them? Will Austin Theory reveal that he's been working with Seth this entire time and help out Seth? We don't know, right? Will Kevin Owens even return? As impossible as that sounds, we've seen people come back from injuries that they should have never come back from. What if Kevin Owens returns? That will be surprising. We got the whole story with Finn Balor, him not being accepted into the Royal Rumble because Adam Pearce told him that the spots are filled. Will Finn Balor attack someone to take their spot? And if Dominic Mysterio returns at the Rumble, if they meet each other face to face, how is that going to play out? Will Liv Morgan tell Dominic Mysterio to eliminate Finn Balor because Finn isn't locked in? He's not thinking about doing this for the Judgment Day. He's too mixed in with CM Punk. We don't know how that whole thing is happening. What will happen with Obafemi? Brock is now in the Royal Rumble. How was that going to play? There's so many different storylines that they can play around with this whole thing. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, because obviously what happens there is going to have some implication with the storylines leading into Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, I'm sorry, and even into the Elimination Chamber. And let's move on to the women. We got a lot of possibilities there. If we get a Bianca Belair return, that'll continue that story between her and Jade Cargill and may ultimately build up to the money match between the both of them at WrestleMania. Or we can have a situation where Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, they can have an altercation in that ring to kind of, add more into the split of the Judgment Day. Maybe Kairi Sane get tired of Asuka yelling at her and accidentally eliminates her. Maybe that could build it to that story. Maybe we can see something between Julia and Io Sky in the ring. A little mix up from people who came from Stardom. I would love to see that. There's so many things that could really happen here. And I know I'm not saying anything that isn't a Royal Rumble thing, but as far as storylines that could possibly come out of this and be, advanced throughout the Royal Rumble, which is one of the reasons I love this type of event, we have a lot there. And then the rumors of a Jericho returning and all these other people, and would it being Saudi Arabia and them building a venue to hold this event, that tells us that they're flexing and they got money to bring whoever they need to bring back if they want to. So just saying all of that, I think this show is going to be great. I think it's going to be a banger. I know it's not fun to say something about WWE can be good, but I think this can absolutely be great. But anyway, at the end of the day, how do you feel about going into Royal Rumble season? Let me know in the comments.